Now, one thing that I find fascinating is the fact, and Zach, you touched on it in the sense of, this is a business in the sense of, in every sense of it. So over the course of, what you said, 2012, 2008 was your first ceremony. So, ever since that time, and you stopped counting at 6,000. So, I mean,
So my account really started in 2014 because I
oh,
was
wow.
working for the church in 2008. So privately, I went from doing work for the church and weddings and sacraments there to doing my own business model in 2014. So privately, I've done over 6,000 weddings.
And so during, and now you're the number one in the state. I mean, that's just, grind is not the right word, but I mean, this is just something that didn't happen overnight, that you just continue on your journey, and then you're in the position that you're in now. Whereas so many people in business, when they want to start their business, they just run out of energy, and then they throw in the towel, and then they go after something different. But I mean, you are a true test and a true example of, you got to put in the work, and if you put in the work, then you're going to see the fruits of your labor, which you have.
Yeah, I definitely call it a hustle. I'm tired, and even with the 3 hours that I spend with building and meeting with each client, there's still probably another 2 hours of post work that I do with each. So the reviews and the contact and then the follow up, the any counseling care that is offered to. I mean, because if you look in a what an entrepreneurial ministry business model that I curated myself, because it doesn't exist. My upsell is counseling. My upsell is pastoral care, baby blessings, house dedications. So I don't leave the couple at you're married. I follow them often through the life cycles, and even done a few of my couples' funeral ceremonies too later
Mm.
in life. So it's interesting to see the life of what a pastor would do with a family, and to do that privately through a business model, and be able to maintain both my integrity, my ministry, and my business, all the way through the end. And it was something that I had to figure out and bite into, because like when I'm working for the church, I don't ask for a payment to do a blessing for your baby. That's part of my role in the church, but I don't have a paycheck from the church anymore. I have a paycheck from the person that's asked me to do that care. But spirituality is something that's important to people. It's just that they get lost, I think, in organized religion or something, some sort of hurt or trauma that's happened to them, or just life has been so busy that they can't get plugged into a place where some sort of spiritual influence can impact them. So working with someone like me is a way that they can maintain that need, that inherent human need, and to have the spiritual components that they desire.
And part of that, you had to identify your market segment that you wanted to go after. I mean, and again, this is not diminishing the role that you play, but I mean, everyone has a market segment, and your market segment is for the unchurched. And
Yeah.
you run into people all the time that are just like, hey, you know, I'm not necessarily, I mean, I'm not a churchgoer every single Sunday, but I want to get married. Who do I turn to?
Mm.
And that's your market segment. So,
Yeah, it's interesting because if you ask any pastor at a Sunday morning service who their prime target is, it's the unchurched or underchurched. And I've been in the mega church world for 15 years, most of my 20s and early 30s, and as much as I wanted to target the unchurched, we just weren't. We were just targeting or reaching churched or angry churched that moved around to find another church. And this has given me so much purpose in my business model, because I think purpose is important for whatever business that you're doing. But it's given me so much purpose because I'm finally able to make a living, to do and walk in my calling, and to focus on a group that I have been committed to and called to my entire life. So, and I'm finally doing it in a way where I have zero issues with deacons and committees and or the things that organized religion people suffer through. Uh, and I make a decent living. I mean, my business surprisingly would surprise you how much money that I make with my work. So, and I never want to go back to the church. I hope that's okay to say.
Well, I mean, if you're gonna do 15 ceremonies over the course of the weekend, I mean, that definitely is a hustle,
Yeah.
and good for you to does it slow down in the winter months, or you just seem to me as someone that the hustle doesn't ever end. You may not do 15 every single weekend, but marriage is something that is going to continue to happen.
Yeah. So the bigger weddings slow down in the fall. I'm sorry, late fall, early winter. But the elopements are still happening. Someone called. I mean, it's surprising. My phone will just ring off the hook because I do everything through my cell phone. But people will call all the time. Can I get married right now? Can I get married today? There's only 2 localities that have a justice of the peace in their courthouse. Everybody else doesn't, and they require, the way that Virginia sorts, they require an officiant to do all the work. Whoever wrote the laws were obviously making money as an officiant because it works out in our favor. Other states are a lot easier to do that, but Virginia is set up to make a lot of money in this work. So, and it also speaks to my competitors, because when I first started in 2014, there were 37 officiants doing this type of work, and now I think there's 217. So,
Wow.
and a lot of them just take my website, cut it in half, and do it. They say emulation is the best compliment, so I'm good with that.